All right, welcome to the IWCR running the Roger Wagner 250 tonight. 100 laps around the beautiful facility of Daytona. Great race here. This should be very exciting. I want to welcome in the booth with me here my co-commentator, Roger Wagner. Welcome, Roger, and good to have you.
It's always a pleasure to work with you. I love doing these Friday night races with you, and I'm really looking forward to this one, my friend.
So far, we've been seeing a lot of really good guys out here racing, turning in some times. They're going through a driver's meeting here before we do get this started and kind of run over the rules, make sure everything's, got out of the way before we do get to the actual racing grid. Now, they've already gotten the practice and in, but as far as the qualifying was decided last weekend. If you followed along here at IWCR, we had the duels, and the grid will come out of the duels. I don't have that grid handy with me right now, but we will see how they grid here once everybody gets done with the drivers' meeting. So, Roger, anything that you want to put out here tonight to our viewers, especially over the paint jobs?
Oh man, I'm just tickled that they actually asked me to do all of the Major League Baseball schemes onto cars for this race. They were going to do it as a themed event to start their season off, and I was really happy that they asked me. I'm really honored that they think enough of my work to do that. And then after that, I find out that they went ahead and named the event in my honor, and I'm blown away. These guys are amazing. Everything that they do for sim racing, this is a great league. It's a great bunch of guys. Their admins are top notch. Their drivers are excellent. We have a great time coming over here every Friday night. I know I do. And I love watching these guys race. I'm just tickled to be part of this thing. This is awesome.
Absolutely, me too. I feel greatly appreciative to them. They do kind of put the Max Speed TV name out there. I'm to the understanding that Johnny Reed Foley does write a column now for iRacing, and we will be mentioned in some way. I don't know how. As the broadcasting outfit here that does broadcast for them. So very much appreciative to him about that. And the paint schemes out here all running Major League Baseball themes and being named after you has to be quite an honor, Roger. I know you've put many hours into this with all these paint schemes, and they look absolutely amazing. Two thumbs up to you, brother.
Well, I appreciate it. It's great to be recognized for, something like that. I do that for fun. I really do. I've always enjoyed doing it. And they saw my stuff on the forum at iRacing when I did the NFL and college football stuff, and like I said, I'm blown away that they, I was number one on the list, I guess, for them is what I was told, and it's awesome. I don't know really what to say. I've never had anything like this happen before, so I'm blown away. It's completely great. And I do know you are right about Johnny Reed Foley. I think he's writing for In Racing News now, and they've got a great newsletter that goes on over there, and he's a part of it, and they've been able to do a bunch of promoting for this. iRacing's been promoting it for them, so this whole thing has become a really big deal. I've been in a couple practice rooms for Daytona, and guys were talking about this event that weren't even part of it. They're just gonna check it out now. So I hope they're watching the broadcast tonight. I hope everybody that is watching is enjoying it. Man, I can't wait to get these guys fired up and get them out here for this 100 laps. It's gonna be pretty fun.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us for the first time, you make sure you click that follow button underneath the viewing screen. We do broadcast 7 nights a week now. Tomorrow night, big event coming up. It's going to be a little bit late, about like this one here. But big event coming up tomorrow night for Black Flag Sim Racing. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for that. I do broadcasts, like I said, 7 nights a week. On Friday nights, we do 2 back-to-back broadcasts. First one being Dirty South Racing, and then this one here at IWCR. And very exciting for both races. If you just tuned in a little while ago and watched that race, it was an amazing race at Talladega. 100 laps, one caution, just absolutely amazing. And I hope we see that here tonight. I believe with the quality of the drivers that we have in this field here tonight, I believe we're going to see an awesome race here tonight. These guys are the class of the field out here. These are the class of iRacing, and I say that every week because it's the truth. These guys are definitely class acts out here on the track. You're going to see respect given to and from a lot of these drivers. You're going to see give and take. These guys, they know how to shove it in there when they need to, get it down in a hole that don't look like a car will fit. They get it in there, get it in there safely, and complete good passes. And I'm sure there's probably some words said, off track that we don't hear, and that's a good thing. We don't want that stuff coming over our broadcast. But that's racing. That's racing.
Yeah, they got a great bunch of guys here. They're all real respectful to each other. They understand. I mean, this is one of the top tier A racing leagues on iRacing. They're filling this field tonight. I'm like 40 drivers in here. This is a big deal. 35. So these guys are good. All of them are really good drivers. They wouldn't be here if they wouldn't, because the bad guys don't usually hang around here long. You and I have come to know most of these guys on various levels, and we watch them week in, week out, and see them really race each other really hard, but really clean, and the racing's always amazing. At some point during every one of these races, you go, wow, how do you do that? That's amazing, and it's a blast to watch these guys. I'm really excited to get this thing on it. It's been 2 weeks of nothing but hype, and we saw last week the duels were excellent racing, fantastic racing. I do know our front row, Johnny Reed Foley and Patrick Crabtree, and I am gonna say I don't see Crabtree here. Oh yeah, I do. I see him now. I didn't see him earlier, but I see him now. I know those two are starting on our front row via each one winning their duel. Behind that, man, I have no idea. I saw the list earlier today, but I did not copy it down somewhere, so I can't tell you. We won't know until they start gridding.
Yeah, this is really exciting here. I believe they're getting ready to take the grid now. And we're going to try to get down here and see if we can't. This is a fixed grid. Yeah, Johnny Reed Foley on the pole position to start this thing off. And we'll do a complete rundown here in just a minute as soon as they get on the grid.
Yeah, they're starting to. They're trying to finish their drivers meeting right now. Sorry, I'm kind of listening to it and doing this too, just to hear if there's anything I hear out of place. But it sounds like their standard, straightforward drivers meeting. Yeah, this is a great field of cars here. I mean, this is an excellent field of cars. All these guys got a chance to win. Every single one of them. There isn't one guy you can put in front of the others and say this guy's going to win this race. Every one of these guys is a great driver. I hope we don't see the big one tonight. They're all plenty capable of running 2-3 wide. They were doing it in practice and did a great job. But one tiny mistake, anytime you go to one of these plate tracks, and you're going to see chaos.
Oh, that's for sure. All right, well, the guys are on the grid now. Let's get a rundown here, Roger. Johnny Foley going to be starting in the top spot here tonight. And on the outside in, Patrick Crabtree. In third, the 94 of Galen Gidman. In fourth, Travis Townsend in the 08. In fifth, the 22 of Scott Hunsinger. In sixth, the 21 of Alan Bowes. In seventh, the 27 of Brian Wilderson. In eighth, the 44 of Zachary Miller. In ninth, the 91 of Barry Jacobs Jr. In 10th, the 56 of Donald Stewart. Roger.
Starting 11th will be the number 3 of Robert Dykstra. In 12th, Ken Worley in the 37. The number 2 car, Jeremy Bazemore, will hold down the 13th spot at the grid. The number 5 of Michael Leiby will start 14th. 15th is Randall Drake in the 9. 16th will be the 24 of Thomas Branner. 17th, the 4 of Zachary Chahalis. And 18th, the 6 of Joe Roberts. The 07 of DeAndre Artis will start 19th. And Dalton Carter will start in the number 53 in the 20th position, Rudy.
All right, and 21st, the number 48, not on the grid. 22nd, the 23 of Kenny Harris. And 23rd, the 35 of Nathan Sedlick. Tommy Lee starting in the 24th position in the 92. And 25th, the 28 of Bill Jett. And 26th, the 09 of David Rattler. In 27th, the number 1 of John Schweikert. 28th, the number 8 of Paul Crumry. In 29th, the 12 of Ross Cato. And in 30th, John Spisak in the number 54, Roger.
The 69 of Matt Kocher will start 31st. The 32nd is the 47 of Keith Shaner. The 17 of Brandon Kronfeld will start 33rd. Aaron Bards will start the number 18 car in 34th, and he rounds out the field tonight.
All right, get back up here to the front because they're getting ready to go green flag racing, Roger.
I am ready for this. Pace car is already off. And green's in the air, and we are underway in the MLB 250 at Daytona with IWCR.
All right,
good start.
Everybody getting these things wound up, hitting the gears. You know what they got to do to get this thing up here. I think we're going to see some patience out here tonight. Roger, they're going to have to ride with a little patience here to get things started.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything really aggressive. I think these guys are going to try to stay lined up. They're going to get, single file the best they can or two lines. They're just going to ride. This is such a long race. You're going to have probably 2 pit stops easy here, and you don't need to run hard till the last 20 laps, but you need to keep yourself in a position. And it looks like we got the field split up pretty good already here. About 18 cars in front and everybody else hanging around the back.
Travis Townsend already up to the 2nd position with Johnny Foley looking to take a peek on the outside, but nobody going up there to dance with him right now.
About the first 4 or 5 cars here strung out, single file, in line, trying to race. You got a little group on the outside, beginning with Alan Bowes and Zach Miller. They're trying to push their way up, but it's just 2 cars, and there's about 8 or 10 on the inside there. I don't think they're going to go forward very far.
We've got the 21 up on the high side there of Alan Boat. Yeah, like you said, they're really, if they got 2 or 3 more up there to work with them, they could get a good run on that high side. But they're going to hit that wall of air when they get up to the front, and they're just not going to go anywhere. Johnny Foley goes up the hill, though, to join them, and that kind of pushes Alan Bowes up into the wall there. Now tucks it back in behind them, and those guys might be marching toward the front.
From here, they might be able to go. Now, there's about 4 of them on that outside, Rudy. They might be able to get something working and at least be able to hang right there. I don't know if they can pass and clear right now, but those front 2 have broken away from Galen Gidman, and so this is a 2-on-2 event here right now. And wow, did I just see Zach Miller get crazy loose down the backstretch?
He sure did. He come down almost into the number 27 of Brian Wilson.
Man, that was wild right there.
Yes, it was.
Because he was going down the straightaway when that happened.
Yeah, that's just how much the aero around these cars are so realistic. So everyone understands, this is realistic right here. The aero around them cars can make them dance. You see them cars weaving around. That's all the air coming off of the cars ahead of them that do make them like that. So it's a handful out there sometimes, and this car is a handful by itself.
This drafting some tricky stuff anyway, and now with this new aero package, you can't just get on the guy's bumper and push for a lap or 2 and then swap and him push you. You get about a lap. Once you come up to temp, you get about a lap, and then you got to switch. So you're going to see every one of these guys keep about 3 or 4 feet between them and the car in front of them, and they're not going to push hard until we get down to it, or unless somebody really wants to try to make a run to the front from the position there that Johnny Reed Foley and Alan Bowes are in on the outside. If they pushed really hard for about 2 laps, they would clear everybody on the inside row. They just can't do it with a gap between them.
No, they've got to get up there and work together. Alan Bowes is pushing the daylights out of him, but without a little bit of help behind them, they just kind of go nowhere. They get that what we call the parachute effect. You hit that wall of air coming off of Crabtree up there in the lead, and that wall of air, the air that he's pushing off, bounces off of the front end of their car, and it's just like somebody threw an anchor at it.
Hunziker and Jacobs have jumped up and made a third line here on the outside, trying to get around Zach Miller, and it started to work. And then Zach sniffed the back end of Bose and picked up his draft. And now there's a run of 5 on the top. And if those 5 can stay in line with each other, they got a chance to get out to the front of this field.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they're starting to work on that now. They're starting to feel a little bit of the impact of it. And we're starting to see maybe them pulling up a little bit as Johnny Foley now kind of side by side with Galen Gidman. Galen Gidman in the 3rd spot. And as you can see, them guys right on the outside of them, but they're kind of losing a little bit now because they're not nose to tail pushing.
Yeah, Hunziker got separated from the back of Miller, and Jacobs kind of had to check for that a little. And now, as you can see, they're starting to close back up right here. If they can get back and get them 5 cars really close together without bumping each other, they'll make a run. They got a 6th car in the back. I think that's Bill Jett trying to catch up on that outside line. And if they can get to 6, they've really got a shot to make this an interesting race from the outside line here early in the running. And I'm kind of surprised that this is going on this early, but it's the first race of the season, and every bonus point's going to count throughout the whole season. These guys really want to score some points, I think.
Bill Jett now maybe getting a little bit of help off of the number 9 of Randall Drake. And that could maybe push them back up to that front part. If you can just get a little bit of drafting help.
Yeah, Drake and Kenny Harris were hooked up on the outside coming up there. And I think they can help Jett get to that group of 5. And if they can become an 8-car group, they really, really do have a chance to push around. They got 2 more coming, and I'm trying to get, I think that's the 54 of John Spacek, maybe right there. Yeah, and he ducks off and ducks in line, so they're going to change their mind about that part.
Bill Jett is reeling in this front pack right here, and now we're seeing this outside line get longer. And this is what they need to do to get by that inside line. The inside line, pretty much the preferred line here at Daytona.
If they keep racing like this, this is going to be an extremely exciting event tonight. They are 2 wide, 8 deep on lap 9. This is excellent right here. And none of them are even close to touching each other.
Ooh, Bill Jett gets a little bit squirrely coming off of 2. I'm riding on board here. We're on the roof cam of Bill Jett, and he is right up on the back bumper here of the 91.
And Barry Jacobs. This is good racing. I mean, it's side by side. They started off and they got single file for a little bit. A couple guys went outside. Now you got 8, 9 guys out there. This is what I like to see at Daytona. This is excellent racing right here.
Yeah, you can see the whole field here now. Everybody dancing around. Everybody looking for, not really looking for a partner, but just looking for a groove that they can get in to hold their line. They're on lap 10 out of 100, a long ways to go. And they're riding these laps down, Roger, and just taking their time, I think, right now.
I don't think anybody's really pressing hard, doing anything, not smart right now. They're really just feeling it out and seeing what it takes to go forward and really working on trying to find a good dancing partner, someone that they're quick with, I think.
Donald Stewart running in the 11th place right now, doing real well here in the number 56, having a great race so far. One we were talking about before the race, we were talking to Johnny, let's see if I can find him, John Schleicher, running back in the 22nd position in the number 1 there. I think he's back there kind of mired back in the field, started 27th, just picked up 5 positions. Just kind of playing it cool right now. Not really trying to get up there and get into the mix of everybody. Just wanting to kind of play it cool. He said that he hopes to see me on the podium tonight, so I'm wishing him the best of luck, and hopefully he'll get there.
Yeah, he was pretty clear about that. He wanted to ride around at the back the first half of the race, and then maybe on pit stops try to make up some time, do something tricky on pit stops, or maybe if we caught a caution, try to, get some track position that way later in the race. But he didn't want to get up here and mix it up with these guys early. He wants to be there at the end, and that's really kind of his style on these super speedways. He really just wants to be there when it's about to wrap up, so he's got a shot. They're about to come up on the 48 car of John Berga, who started in the pits in this race, and he was kind of hoping for a quick caution so he could get caught back up, but that he wouldn't be part of it. He's going to end up a lap down in about maybe one and a half more laps.
Well, let's see how this lead back here is going to deal with that coming up on the back of him. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to probably have to take him 3 wide, and he's going to have to just try to fall into line somewhere and hopefully keep up with these guys. That if a caution does come out, he may be able to get that lap back.
Yeah, best thing he can do for the whole field is kind of tell them his intention. I'm going to stay low, or I'm going to stay high. Get to his line, and then hold his line, and not worry about what's going on around him. And the rest of the guys, let them work their way past him. But as long as he holds his line where he's supposed to, they'll be able to get by him clean. They won't have any problems.
Looks like, yeah, we've got a couple of them here that, and Galen Gidman in the lead. Dumps
what
off
a move
Johnny.
that was.
Yeah, he dumps off Johnny Foley and comes down right in front of Patrick Crabtree. So Galen Gidman, our new leader.
And I don't think he thought he was that close to Crabtree's nose when he chopped him off. I think he thought he was a little more clear than that.
Yeah, that was pretty close to Crabtree. I mean, boy, he cut the nose right off for that, but good job. I'm sure Johnny Foley's not real happy right now because he just got dumped back there, but he's falling clear back to the 6th place now.
Well, we've lost that outside line. Somehow that outside line has broken up. And Foley's just looking for a place to get down, and he just drops right there in about 6th spot.
He dropped down and dumped the 44 of Zach Miller right off. Zach Miller going to have to fall back in the field and see if he can find a place to duck in, get on that low line. So far,
maybe he can drop in behind Livy.
Maybe.
Or not.
Nope, he's not.
Yeah.
Hunsinger said, "No, you're not coming in here." So
he's got a partner now. Jet's on his back bumper, and behind them there's another group comes got the lap on Berga in it. And I'm trying to pick up, I believe that's Matt Kocher behind Berga. And then Spisak is behind that. Joe Roberts and Paul Crumry. And those guys are trying to work their way, and they're actually making up really good ground on that outside right there.
I just seen some smoke come off of Alan Bose's car there. It looked like I didn't catch the car number right behind him. The number 5 there.
Of Livy?
Yeah, now they're going 3 wide down the backstretch. Bo's not even giving a thought about going 3 wide here. We got 3 wide up front and caution coming up, maybe.
No, they grabbed them all up.
Wow, that was close.
Nice driving. I don't know who that was, but I was looking at the back there.
Yeah, I just kind of caught it.
I think that was Townsend. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. That was Townsend.
Let's go back and take a look at that because, boy, that was kind of unnerving.
They got in there, and the 2 car was really slow on the bottom, Rudy, and he just kind of wiggled right there when Townsend got up beside him. And, wow, that could have been really, really bad. Great job of driving by Travis there.
Oh, my, yeah. Well, I'm sure Travis is going to have some damage on that. But the 2 car, wow. Travis actually got sideways on that turn, dropped down below the apron, and brought it back up on and saved it right in front of the number 2, and never lost anything.
Yeah, that was Bazemore. He's several laps down. He missed the beginning of this race for some reason, and I think he was still trying to get up to speed right there. Man, he's 15 laps down, Rudy.
Yeah. What was he thinking? Man, he come right up there. That could have been very, very costly to all these drivers out here.
I think he might have touched the apron trying to stay low and stay out of their way and let them go. I think he might have accidentally touched the apron and made that car wiggle, and Travis was right beside him and was really close to him, and that's what started that whole thing. A little bit of damage on Travis's left front doesn't seem to be affecting him because he's worked his way right back to 5th.
Yeah, he's going into pit, though.
Now he's going in the pits. I'm behind. I hadn't caught up.
Yep, Travis going into the pit here. Maybe just not comfortable with the way that thing's feeling right now. I'm sure he's going to have a little bit of damage on that car. Stops in his pit stall, and looks like he's going to do a left side tire change. Maybe he had a tire going down, Roger.
Maybe this was a strategy play, because I saw Schweikert and Worley come on the pit road at the same time. Now, from here, it's still 2 stops, but it's right at the early window, and they might have just wanted to get out of all that traffic because they were starting to get a little too racy, and get back out here all by themselves and be able to ride around waiting for something to happen.
Absolutely. Back up front here, Galen Gidman still leading this race. And Patrick Crabtree right behind him. These guys definitely having a good race here up front.
Miller and Foley whipped it to the outside, and they're going to try to make a run here going into 3.
Yes, sir. 44 Zachary Miller finally getting back up into the hunt of things after getting dumped off back there for a while. And I believe that was Johnny Foley's the one that dumped him off. So maybe Johnny felt a little guilty about that. And looks like, and they come right across the front of Galen Gidman right there and take over the lead.
We're going to start seeing pit stops right here. This is in the early window. The 3 car is going to be coming in this time by, Rudy.
The 3 car?
Yeah, we're going to do these under green. This is what we talk about every week. This could change the game. One mistake. It could change it for you the rest of the night.
Number 3 car. Let me find him.
Robert Dykstra. Building Jet's going to follow him in too, I believe.
Oh yeah, a bunch of them coming down the road.
Gidman, all the front guys. Dykstra changed his mind when all those guys went in.
Look at all of. Oh, we got a spinner, couple spinners on pit road. Oh man, that's going to be costly.
Ooh, that's a 17 car, wasn't it? Hohenfeld?
I don't know. I didn't see who it was. These guys come to their pit stops here. Johnny Foley, oh boy, I don't know. Man, he almost looked like he might have had to back up, but he didn't. And these guys fuel only in a way.
Yeah, that's probably about right. No tires on this first up. We're only 20 laps.
And now we got Crabtree and his teammate coming down pit road as well. These guys all trying to get woed.
That's tough to do.
Dang, excuse me. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that in the mic. Wow. I couldn't get the mute button fast enough. Crabtree coming down, and looks like these guys all going to stop in their pit stall. Bunches of them coming down. Crabtree is away.
Yeah, the rest of that group that didn't come in last time coming in this time. They all know they're in that window.
And that's going to relinquish the lead over to David Rattler. We'll get up here to him in just a minute.
He's slow on the apron of 4.
Yeah, what happened there, Rattler?
Well, I'm thinking I watched them come off of pit road last lap.
Is he out of gas?
Well, you know, there's only one way to know for sure. Now the car's running.
I don't know what's going on with him, but we've got a new leader up front now. Nope, Johnny Spisick is in pit road. So we're trying to find the leader as they come across the line here. It looks like Galen Gidman's going to be back in the lead.
Yeah, Gidman, Foley are up front. And Matt Kocher. And then a tiny gap back to Crabtree and Bose. They'll close that gap up.
Johnny Foley on the high side, working with the 69 now. This is something different. We have not we haven't seen Matt Kocher up there in a while. Well, he hasn't been up there yet tonight.
And he was working his way up before the pit stop started. He had started that outside line that started making that run right there before pit stop started. And I think he just got in and out of pit road really, really good right there.
Yeah, because he had a pretty fast pit stop. Here he is. He came from 31st and all the way up to second place now. That's amazing.
That's one of the wonderful things about super speedway racing. It don't matter where you started, you still got a chance to win. He's going to go for the lead here, I think, which might be a mistake because Gidman's just going to get on Foley's bumper.
Yeah, and they're gonna leave Kocher sitting out there to dry. You can see he's going to have to fall back in, but he can't come down in front of Crabtree.
Now Crabtree mows and then Wilderson right there, and I don't think he's going to be able to get. He needs to get with Wilderson. Wilderson doesn't have a partner, but I think Bill Jett's going to keep pushing that and try to stay on Wilderson's bumper, and he's going to try to bring Miller with him.
These guys are really a lot of cars coming off of pit road yet, Roger, and this is going to change up everything here with these guys. When they first started with the pit stops, that kind of was a game changer right there with these guys out there. Obviously. Changing up pit strategy, what I was trying to get at, everybody going to be on different pit strategies. And that's not a bad thing because we don't want to see a whole gaggle of cars come down pit road. Then we're going to see cars spinning on pit road like we've seen just a little bit ago.
I'm watching Rattler. I went back to watch. He pitted. He's 2 laps down. He must have run out of gas.
That's what I'm kind of thinking too.
I wonder if they're running a short fuel cell here tonight. I just didn't hear it.
I didn't ask either because, that could be. Crabtree back out front though, and Bose now dumping off Johnny Foley to the high side, and Bose right on a bumper Crabtree.
Here comes that man in the 1 car.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Schweigert found a way to get himself up there now.
But let's see.
He's a lap down.
Yeah, Schweigert's a lap down. I don't know how he got a lap down already.
Yeah, his pit stop didn't look bad to me. Remember they pitted early.
Yeah, that's
that
his
group
second.
pitted early.
Yeah, that's his second pit stop. So I'm not exactly sure why
he got a speeding penalty. I'll guarantee it.
That'll be it.
I could go back and look, but I'm gonna just say he got a speeding penalty. That's the only reason why he'd be down a lap.
He's pushing Johnny Foley now, and Johnny Foley out in the lead, and I'm not sure. He dumps him off, comes down in front of Crabtree. Holy smoke. Boy, Johnny, he dumps off a lot of partners, don't he?
Well, he's just trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, drive by the guys. And if the caution needs to come out,
Crabtree.
he'll...
Oh, my God, look at this.
Rewind.
Wide Crabtree, and they're coming up on some lap traffic too. I don't know how this is all going to shake out because these guys are going to have to go low to go around that. Who was that? The 47.
Shaner. Keith Shaner.
He's going to have to stay high and let these guys all go around him.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Schweiger just pulled Wilderson to the lead.
Yep, Wilderson's out in front now. Schweikert a lap down. He's just right on the edge right there of being the last car on the lead lap, I guess is what you'd want to say. Just ahead of the leaders. Behind, boy, that was close. Right behind Wilderson now. But up on the high side, we got Johnny Foley again, bidding for the lead with the 69 up on the top side, Matt Kocher.
They had a couple cars down on the apron right there. Boy, they did a good job of staying out the way.
A lot of battles going on here, and Roger, this is what we kind of expected this to be this good of racing out here amongst these guys. They can hold their line good. That's obvious.
We're 30 laps into this, and these guys have been racing like it's 5 to go the whole time. This is excellent racing.
It sure is. Crabtree hanging on right here in the mix of things. He's running in the 3rd spot right at the moment.
And the only thing that has caused you any... Oh, wow. Wilderson got on the apron, and Schweiger got in the back of him. Didn't spin him.
Foley hit the wall on that?
I'm going to go back and look. Look, he scared it if he didn't hit it.
Man, I'm telling you
Schweiker's
what.
got front end damage.
Yeah, he hit Foley pretty hard right there. Pushed him up the hill. Excuse me. He didn't hit Foley, but pushed him up the hill.
Yeah, he just barely grazed the wall, no damage.
Okay, good deal. Johnny, definitely one of the premier drivers out here. We don't want to see that kind of stuff happening already to him. Kenny Harris now running in the 5th spot, actually 6th. Passed us across the line, but having a good day out here, running in the 23 up on that high side, dancing with them guys up on the high line right behind Johnny Foley in the 88. Galen Gidman actually got shuffled back to 8th place after all that. But all these guys back up to this battle that we've seen early on. Roger, and I mean, wow, what a gaggle of cars up here in the front.
Yeah, you know, and I was going to say before all that action happened there with the with Wilderman and Schweiker that the only thing we've seen cause any action really on the track, other than these guys having a great side-by-side race, is green flag pit stops. You got from 25th place on back, our lap to 15 laps down, and you got another group from 19th to 24th that fell back about a half a lap or more. So that green flag set of pit stops has split this field up into this one big group and 2 or 3 real small groups.
Travis Townsend there, remember he had pitted earlier, and here he is running back up in the 11th spot. So he had got back out there, obviously with somebody, and hooked up, I believe he got hooked up with the 28 of Bill Jett or something there, and then got caught back up to the field, and here he is running in the 11th spot. So great job for Travis. I wanted to go back through a little bit here. Barry Jacobs running in 13th. Scott Hunsinger now 14th. DeAndre Artis, running in 15th. Kenny Worley in 16th. Tommy Lee clear back here in 17th position in the number 92. Trying to see if he can't get caught up to this field, but they're running about 10 seconds behind that lead pack.
Yeah, they got split up on the pit stop thing, and they got split out of this group somehow. I don't know if one of them had a bad stop or both of them had a bad stop, but it's going to take a yellow flag for those guys to catch back up. And they just can't push hard enough to catch this big group. No. I wanted to say something real quick. It looks like we got close to 30 viewers on the Twitch out there, and man, I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast. This is a fun race to watch. I'm having a blast up here.
Great racing going on up in the front here. Boy, I'm telling you what. Well, let's go back here to the 08 Travis Townsend, as he's taking it right up the middle, 3 wide, right up the middle, and he is no stranger to shooting that hole up the middle. So good job by Travis. Wants to get back up into the front and mix it up with these guys. We'll go back to
I'm glad you got on that when that happened, because I started to see that 3 wide materialize there, and I really was hoping you were up front.
We're going to ride along here with Kenny Harris, as Kenny Harris is now our leader, and we're going to see what he's seeing. Actually, I'll tell you what, we're going to ride along with the 69 of Matt Kocher, excuse me, I'll get it right. Looking back on the rest of the field. He's out there on the outside,
man. I didn't know he was still up at the front. I thought he had gotten shuffled back to around 5th, 6th spot. He's done a good job getting himself back in there.
Yeah, and he's going to get a little help here. It looks like from Johnny Foley coming up behind him, and get Kocher back up to the lead, as he did lead a lap. And now he gets a great run. As long as he don't dump off Johnny Foley, and they can clear the 23, they may be able to both come down and he would be back up front, and they do. Good
and
job.
Actually, that's Townsend pushing him. And I know Townsend? It's confusing because you got those 2 Braves cars right close to each other, both with an 8 on it, but that's actually Travis Townsend pushing him right there. Foley's leading that group on the outside of Foley, Roberts, I think Zach Miller's in there, and Galen Gidman right on the back of that deal.
Yeah, this
DeAndre Artis and Randall Drake have moved to the outside back here at about 14th position, and they are trying to make a run. And they're actually pulling some distance up on these guys at the front here. They're closing a little bit.
So here we are, lap 38, coming to lap 39. Let's take a look here real quick. We've had no cautions and 13 lead changes so far. The 69 goes way up on the high side. Coacher goes way up high. And it looks like
I saw him wiggle on the straightaway, Rudy.
Travis Town, oh boy, 3 wide. Johnny Foley shooting the middle. Everybody going to go on by, and it looks like Johnny Foley picks up the 23 of Kenny Harris, and they get a run to go by Travis Townsend on the low line.
Yeah, we're getting right here into this pit window again within the next 1 to 3 laps. These guys are all going to pit again. And here we go with this, I think everybody wants to push and get to the front so they can get single file before pit. So this outside line is starting to really work. I mean, I see about 8 cars out there trying to work this outside line.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught on that outside line, and you've got to go to pit because you're not going to make it down there. You're going to have to go around and maybe back out and go way back and lose a ton of positions just to make it down on your pit road. Travis Townsend coming down on pit road. He was
nice call.
He pitted early before, and we're going to get down here and watch him. Whoops.
Well, he's soloed going into pit road, sir. That may cost him.
Well,
we had one in the wall.
That's what we thought the last time, and he come down here and got back out there, and there he was up in the lead. We've got a few other people coming off of pit road as well. Travis.
Yeah, I saw DeAndre Artis get into the wall in 2 there just a little. He went from about 11th. He's going to be about 18th by the time we get back to the line now.
I'm showing him about 14th right now. Travis,
yeah, there's a couple more cars, but he might have got it up to speed, though. Yeah. I see 2 headed on pit road, the 35 to 23. Kenny Harris. And I think Harris spun going on. I got off of him at the wrong time right there.
As he comes down to his pit stall.
Well, he didn't spin it, but he had it sliding a little bit.
And he has to back way up on pit road. What the heck was up with that?
That's called missing your pit stall big time.
I'm telling you, he missed it. Oh, that was very, very bad for him. But he got fuel and he is away. But Brian Wilson back out in the lead now.
And we're back to that mistakes on pit road thing. That's what you can't have, especially when this thing's going green. We're 42 laps into this race, 41 completed, working 42 into this race. We haven't had a green or a yellow flag yet. This thing's got a great green field going to it the way these guys are driving.
Wouldn't it be something to see this go 100 laps caution free?
That it would be so awesome. I mean, I don't know. I'm speechless still. I don't know what I'd say then.
It's I'll tell you what, it would just show the class of this field out here. To run these cars with so much horsepower and the aero package on them, and how they dance around in that the aerodynamics, makes them dance around so much. To see them run as good as they do, we've seen 3 wide several times.
Big group coming up pit road, big group.
Like Johnny.
About
Foley,
7 or 8 of them.
Johnny Foley took the first break off into pit road. And I'm sure
Gidman's in that group. They're crashing on pit road. Jet hit hard. Roberts hit hard. Livey hit hard.
Roberts still, man, he's trying to make it to.
Caution's out.
Oh,
there's our caution.
So what was the caution? Just those guys coming down? Yep.
Yeah.
The 28 hitting, Bill Jet hitting the inside wall, and that's what brings out the caution.
Well, Bill Jett got into the back of Matt Kocher, and it really checked him down. Livey got in the back of him and turned it into Joe Roberts right there on pit road, and it was kind of chaos at that point. A couple, 3 of these cars are probably done right now.
Well, caution's going to be out here on lap 43. First caution of the race, though, but unfortunate incident on pit road that brought that out. A lot of cars going to be tore up. I don't know if they're going to get back out or not. Bill Jett damaged a lot. Now, this is going to shake the field up a little bit, Roger, because these guys up front here are going to want to pit.
Yeah, and the guys that were on pit road that weren't in their stalls already just went ahead and rolled through and came back out. The guy that really is going to benefit from this is going to be the one car of Schweikert. He's going to get his wave around. But you've had cars that were on pit road that came back out that are in front of the leaders now that all are going to take the wave around, and we're going to be a 2 or 3 lap difference on pit sequence now. That's going to really shake things up when we come back around if we have another round of green flag stops, because you got guys that are going to stop on lap 65, 66. You got guys that are going to stop on lap 70, and that's going to spread this field out quite a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got quite a few of them now. They're going to have to go back through. Once this thing all gets cycled around here, we'll kind of try to keep you up to snuff on what everybody's doing here. Because I think we're going to see some of these leaders come down pit road this time. Brian Whittleson, they need to stop. All these guys up in the front here, the top 6 have not stopped, and they're all coming down pit road now.
And this is kind of mass confusion right now with the way that caution fell out. There were so many cars that were actually behind the pace car when the pace car rolled off pit road that weren't sure if they were supposed to pass or where they were supposed to be on the track. And we got a bunch of guys taking wave arounds now because they're not supposed to be behind the pace car as these leaders come in. So this is going to be interesting when everyone gets back behind the pace car, how everybody's going to line up.
Well, I wonder if we're going to see any black flags handed out for that, for passing under yellow. They could kind of maybe throw a little clinker into the works there with all that stuff being handed down right there under that caution, because nobody knew where they were supposed to be.
Yeah, and I would imagine that the race control will go ahead and take care of getting everything squared away for these guys. And if they did get one in that bit of confusion there, that they'll fix it for them. But man, that was an interesting way to get that caution. I didn't see it happening with an incident on pit road, but I mean, we almost made it to the halfway point before we got a caution. That's great.
Yeah. I'm showing Nathan Sedlick, our new leader, but I don't know. He has made 2 pit stops, so obviously he made his pit stop there and got his fuel he needs, and he come out on top of this. Wow, this is amazing. Crabtree going to be in second. Let's see, Barry Jacobs going to be third. Is that right? I think that's how I'm reading it here. Scott.
Yeah, Jacobs is sitting third. Yeah. Hunziker fourth.
Wilson going to be fifth. Alan Bowes sixth. Zachary Miller seventh. And Galen Gidman eighth. Matt Kocher ninth. Kenny Worley, your top 10 right there. Johnny Foley's going to be restarting 11th.
And Wilderson was the leader when all that happened, so he's back to 4th.
Yeah, but he had come down pit road, and that was what kind of messed everything up right there. He was on pit road when the caution come out. Well, the caution was on that same pit stop that he was stopping on.
Right.
When all them guys, Bill Jett and I forget who all was involved in that, but yeah, it's unfortunate for them guys though, but. Well, good for Nathan Sedlick. He's getting out here and leading some laps, and we're going to have to see how this is all going to shake out. So, Roger, what's your thoughts on how this race is going so far?
This has been great. We've got to see tons of action. What did you say? 13 or 14 leaders already. We're 44 laps into this thing. This is 46 laps. Into this race. I mean, this is great action. I thought we'd see everybody settle out, run a little nose to tail here, just kind of get a feel. But these guys are racy, and they want to work their way to the front, see what they got, so they know what they got to do in the last 20 laps. It's been an amazing race. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of like Johnny Foley and Travis Townsend, these guys back here that were running so good. Galen Gidman, Zachary Miller. We haven't seen the last of them. They're going to get themselves back up to the front probably just as quickly as they can, and want to be there. When this thing comes down to the close, they want to be up there to make that final attack for the win. And I think we're going to see some really great racing back here in probably in about the 10th to 12th place. We're going to see some great racing.
I think we're going to see it all the way from the front to the back now with everybody getting grouped back up. The only thing I worry about is we got a handful of cars right here that got just a touch of damage on them now. That's going to change the handling a little bit, and I hope these guys don't get in a position where maybe they get a little tight and they can't keep it off somebody on the outside, or they get a little loose and spin in front of the field. So yeah, that's going to be a little factor. Other than that, I think we're just going to see the same kind of racing we saw the first 45 laps. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm only showing 21 cars on the lead lap right now out of the 33 that have started the race. Well, actually, we had more than 33. We had 35, didn't we? 34, excuse me. 34 started the race. Okay, 21 on the lead lap. The first one lap down right now, I'm showing Bill Jett in the 22nd place. Last one on the lead lap is Paul Crumrye, in which he's going to get his lap back by passing there in the number 8. He'll get to pass and there they go, all passing the pace car to get their lap back. They'll be at the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, it means we're on the one to go here. What do we have, about 6 cars right there going by?
Yeah, about that.
Is Crumrye the last of those cars?
Yes.
Yeah, Paul Crumrye there will be back on the lead lap, and that will put 21 back on the lead lap. So you still got at least 21 cars at this moment that have a shot if this thing goes green, because everybody's still got a chance at this. Yeah, Bill Jett, Randall Drake, Michael Wybe, DeAndre Artis, all one lap down, and they're either going to have to race hard and get themselves up there and get it back the old-fashioned way, or be in front of the leaders when a caution comes out. Hope they can stay out a lap or two longer, and a caution comes out on the next set of green flag stops, and get a wave around or get to run around and catch back up, put themselves back in position for that last and most crucial run in this race.
Right. All right, Roger. Well, we're lights are off on the pace car, and they're all doubled up, and everybody trying to catch back up here, going around the track and catching back up to this field before they take the green flag. And Nathan Sedlick out front. This is pretty awesome to see him up here leading some laps. Now, definitely, he did make his pit stop. Everybody on even keel now when they come around here. So let's hopefully we're going to see a long green flag run once again here.
Yeah, Sedlick and Crabtree are in this front row when we restart, and we hadn't said Sedlick's name really all night long until now, and so that's a good turn of fortune for him.
All right, pace car ducks off, and Nathan brings him to the line, and green flag flies, and here we go, racing Patrick Crabtree up on the high side. And 91 there, Barry Jacobs, I don't know, man, he got a really slow start. But boy, Nathan just pulled right out, powered right out there all by himself. He got a great restart.
Yeah, he might get the Sitting Duck Award on the backstretch here, though, for that.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But boy, these guys have really got to start getting hooked up or they're not going to be able to catch him.
Ooh, who is that? Was that Joe Roberts? No, that ain't Joe Roberts. Who was that? Is that Wilderson that made a great move to get to the bottom down the backstretch?
Yeah, he just tucks right up on the back of Nathan Sedlick here. But Crabtree up on that high side with Barry Jacobs. And boy, I'm telling you what, they are showing some muscle up on that high side. Going into the turn, they got a nose past them.
Wilderson needs to push Sedlick if they don't want these two to clear going into one right here. They can't get down. Wow, that was close.
Yeah.
And he does that. He pushed him in there, and then when he saw that there was about to be contact, he backed off. So the two on the outside are going to get a good run down the backstretch.
Yeah, they're pulling really close, trying to get some side draft off of them. Let's go up here right along with Crabtree and watch this battle as it ensues. Coming to the line, we're going to be at the halfway mark, Roger.
That went by quick. We got a good breakaway here. Got about 9 cars breaking away from the rest of this field. 11 cars, I'm sorry. 11 cars breaking away from the field here.
Looking back from Scott Hunsinger, looks like a great battle going on between all these guys. We're going to take a ride on the roof cam here and watch how this race is coming about, because we've got some Crabtree on the low side. Nathan Sedlick kind of left that door open a little bit there for a split second. And Crabtree, boy, he'd seen that, and he probably smiled from ear to ear looking at that.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe Wilderson needed a little air and moved out, and Sedlick was going to try to stay up and at least try to pull him and give him the right corner out to get air. But you can't leave the door open. These guys are going to jump right through it if you leave the door open.
Oh, you bet. You bet. I mean, you know, Sedlick is definitely going to have to be careful up there. He's really riding high in these turns, and if he gets up there too high, I'm telling you right now, Crabtree's going to stick the nose of that car in there, and he's going to go.
Yeah, there hasn't really been any hesitation. When someone leaves a crack in the door, someone's kicked it wide open every time this whole race. I'm watching this group of four. Sorry, Rudy, but I was watching this group of four that is behind that main group. These guys have decided to line up nose to tail here, and they're trying to push to get back. That's Schweikert. They've got the lap car of Shaner in there. It looks like Travis Townsend's in there.
That's Johnny Foley.
Is it Johnny Foley? I'm
Yep.
sorry, Johnny Foley, and maybe Randall Drake are in that bunch right there.
Let's see. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And they are really working on trying to catch these guys. They've actually closed about 3/10 the last 2 laps.
Yeah, Zachary Miller in the number 9. Let's see. Am I looking at that right?
Zach Miller's not in the 9. That's Randall Drake in the 9
That's Randall
car.
Drake. I'm sorry, my bad. Randall Drake is a lap down.
Yeah, so is Keith Shaner. He's 2 laps down.
Right. And Schweikert. But Johnny Foley right there in 12th place, right at the tail of them. And
Caution out. Big
again.
wreck on the front. Big wreck on the front.
Looks like the
I just was going back up front to look at these guys.
Zachary Miller getting into that and taking a ton of damage. And boy, look at, they're still wrecking back here. Oh man, we're going to have a pile of cars everywhere. But let's take a ride with Zachary Miller here. And we're going to have to see if we can't figure out what happened to these guys.
Well, Gidman pushed Wilderson past that front row of Sedlick, and when he did, Sedlick moved up and he got into the left front corner of Matt Coacher's car, and that just started a huge chain reaction.
Yes, it did. Yep. So
that's got Miller. That's got that's got a bunch of cars, and guys were still hitting late. Keith Shaner's in that.
And even after all that, these guys in back of them, I don't know, they just never checked up or something. And boy, we got a pile of cars that got into it after that.
Yeah, Travis Townsend was in that. The 23 car there, Kenny Harris got a piece of that. Schweikert came through the grass. I think he was getting rolled up, and the car just looped on him, and he went through the grass. I think DeAndre Artis got a piece of this. Just a bunch of cars that probably shouldn't be in this got into this way after the fact.
Oh yeah, this was man. It's just too bad for all these guys. They're going to have to. Well, they're going to have to try to get it on pit road, and they're going to have to see what they can do with these cars to get them fixed back up here. As Bryant, and I'm showing as the leader right now.
Yeah, Alan Bowe's car is destroyed. The front end. He'll be able to finish the race, but he's not going to be a factor anymore.
Well, it's a shame for these guys. You know, I mean, they put their heart and soul into this all week, and you know, to be taken out like that. Yeah, Zachary Miller, Scott Hunsinger. Oh man,
Zach Miller's done. His car is smoking going to pit road. I seriously doubt they can do too much to that car.
Hunsinger or Wilderson bringing them down pit road, but somebody faked out not coming down pit road. So let's ride along here with. We'll go down on pit lane. And we're going to watch these guys all coming down. We've got quite a few of them coming down on pit road. I think
Spisak was in that. It's weird to me. I don't know if you're seeing this, but he has no hood, but the rest of his car doesn't have any damage. And he's got a little on the back.
I was thinking that we might see some tire changing going on, but we didn't see any on that. So, All right. So it looks like that's going to relinquish the lead. I can't even find the leader right now.
Crabtree
going to be our new leader.
And Sedlick is still up there. weird that he didn't get any real damage out of that deal. He kind of missed the whole thing, even though he kind of started it.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, he just kind of tapped the outside wall a little bit and did get a little bit of damage. Probably not enough to even bother him.
No, then the front right corner looks great. The front right corner looks great, and I really just don't see much on the right rear corner. He's the guy that kind of started the chain reaction. He's got the least amount of damage out of the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I'm showing Patrick Crabtree course or leader, but Nathan Sedlick going to be second. Is that right?
Yeah, he come out of that second. Wilderson was third before they pitted, and I don't know if he's still going to be third back here. Because he's way back behind these guys.
I'm showing Thomas Brandner in third.
Yeah, that may be.
But it'll all shake out here, I believe, once they cross the line. And I'm showing Tommy Lee in fourth. Brian Wilson going to be fifth, but he is way back here. After these all get sorted out, and everybody it looks like Johnny Foley going to come down on pit road. Now he's got a little bit of nose damage on that car. Did you notice that?
I did see a little bit on there. He was in that. He got into that. He right at the end, he kind of got bumped from behind. I think got shoved into it.
All right. Well, looks like Thomas Brandner on pit road, Tommy Lee on pit road, Johnny Foley on pit road. So a lot of pit road activity going on down here. We'll check in with these guys. Johnny Foley. Yeah, Johnny's got a little bit of damage on the front of that car. And he may be sitting there trying to get some of that fixed up. And yeah, they're working on it.
Yeah, they might be able to pull some of that out. They won't get every bit of it, but it still could make it competitive. If it's in the right places, he could still be able to draft up there and do something with that car. Looking at this front, it looks like Crabtree, Sedlick, Wilderson, and Brandner and Gidman. Tommy Lee, I'm not seeing still in that sixth position. Looks like he went on pit road.
Yeah,
so that's going to shuffle that. So it'll end up being Gidman, maybe Crumrise up there in the sixth position.
He's fifth. Donald Stewart will be sixth. Barry Jacobs seventh. Ken Worley eighth. Zachary Chihalis in ninth. And Ross Cato. We haven't talked about Ross all day. Here he is going to be in the 10th spot.
Yep.
So good job by Ross keeping that car clean, and let's see what they can do. Now we're going to have a few guys up front that haven't been up front all day, mixing it up with guys that are up here. Patrick Crabtree, Brian Wilderson, Galen Gidman. These guys have been up here all day. So we got some new guys up here mixing it up with the older guys.
Yeah, Donald Stewart and Worley, Zach Chihalis, all up to the front there. And these are guys that have really not been mentioned much tonight.
Yeah,
we haven't seen them close to the front.
Well, we talked to John Schweikert about how his race was going to go tonight. This was before the race started, and here he is running in the 13th spot. And hopefully maybe we can see him. We might see him as a podium setter yet tonight.
Well, I think it's about time. We're at the halfway point. Maybe we need to talk to somebody out here.
Well, I think you're right. Well, let's we can get a word in down there. Let me know when I can open the mic for you. What do we got going on up here?
I don't know what that is. All right, ready to open her up.
Okay, Alan, you got past me.
4, you gotta move up. Zach.
Hang on, I asked for him. I asked for him to clear.
Yeah, they're trying to get.
They're clear now. Yeah, they had some kind of a scoring error or something, and now they're working it out here. You got that closed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you if you can open it.
Okay.
Or they're having a problem.
might not get this interview in.
I may not, and they're telling him right now.
Yeah. Well, we may have to wait till the next caution.
Yeah, we may have to.
Yeah, they're doubling back up and the lights are off, and they're getting ready to go back to green flag racing next time by, Roger. And if you would call this down for me, call this green flag down for me, please.
Yes, sir, no problem. We're going to have to skip this one. I don't know what was the confusion there, but they had to extend this caution a lap for this.
Mm-hmm. Something was scoring. It's all it takes is one person to be out of place like that, and it can really mess up the scoring. Telling you to go by this one and go by that one, and then you go by them, and they cross the line. Then it tells them you got to let them back by them. You know, it's messed up. But we're going to get back to green flag racing here in just a minute, folks, when they get this thing all straightened around. Going to be.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get that interview right there. I was going to talk to Patrick Crabtree and see kind of how he was doing tonight, and all that confusion. Them guys were really having a problem race control, trying to confuse, get these guys in line here. So they're still talking about it.
All right, well, we're going to take the green on lap 59. So this is going to be a pretty good shootout here. If they can stay green the rest of the way, it would really be an awesome race. But I'll tell you what, stay tuned, folks, because you're going to see some great racing coming up here.
We're going to extend one more lap.
Uh-oh. Something going on yet.
Yeah, there's still more going on here. We got a driver getting himself a little bit of a black flag. He's unhappy with some of the situation here. So they're going to move him to the back because he was unhappy with something. Voiced his opinion at the wrong time or in the wrong way.
All right, we're going to get the green flag on lap 60 then. We'll just move it up one lap. All right, so they're going to be starting Patrick Crabtree first, second Nathan Sedlick, Galen Gidman third, Brian Wilderson fourth.
They want to give me an interview, Rudy.
Now?
Yeah, right now, real quick, down the backstretch.
Go ahead.
Patrick Crabtree, Roger Wagner, you got a copy, bud? What's good? Hey, real quick, while we run down the backstretch before we let you guys go green here again, how's your race going tonight, buddy? I know you've been kind of towards the front most of the night, but seems like things are business is picking up a little bit right now, huh?
I have no clue what you just said, because team speak is very loud. So I'll just say I'm having a great race, sticking out up front, staying away from the wrecks, and all my teammates just got killed in that wreck, so I'm PMing people.
Well, that's about as candid as I could hope for, sir. Good luck to you. Maybe we'll get a chance to holler at you at the end of the night.
Thanks.
Okay, well, that was interesting.
A lot of unhappy drivers out there right now. We knew this was going to happen if there was a big one to happen. So, all right, hopefully they'll get it all straightened out. We're coming around here, Roger, getting ready to go green.
You bet. I hope that's the biggest one we see, too, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going to take this green here and start lap number 60. Crabtree and Sedlick are going to bring us down here to it. And they're holding a nice pace right here. Pace car's in. Green's in the air, and we're underway once again. And Crabtree got a pretty good start there.
Yeah, about like Sedlick did last time. Sedlick, well, I'll tell you what, look at him coming up on the high side and being pushed by Galen Gidman up on the high side. The 20s.
Yeah.
Not being able to get, he caught the apron there a little bit. Did you notice that? And he lost his momentum.
Yeah, I'm watching back here at about 7th, 8th, 9th, all the way back to about 15th. These guys were all asleep, or every one of these guys that doesn't have their right foot to the floor. The front six are gone.
Yeah, it's Barry Jacobs here in the 91 getting pushed by Ross Cato. in the 12. Yeah, these guys definitely sleeping at the wheel. Alan Bose falling clear back to 16th on that.
He's got so much damage on the front of that car. It's just like driving a snowplow through the air.
He's coming back on pit road now. Paul Crumry, we haven't really talked about Paul tonight. Here he is running into 6th place, and it looks like he may be trying to get hooked up with Donald Stewart, and if they can get by on this high side, maybe try to challenge up here for the lead.
It looks like they've got a really strong run going into 3 here. We'll see if that stalls out going through this corner.
And Nathan Sedlick leading them around right now with Galen Gidman there in 2nd. Patrick Crabtree going back a little bit. Boy, they got a strong run on that high side, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Those guys separated a little, and then Crumry and Stewart stayed together there and just powered on by. Great bit of drafting right there.
And now they come down. Whoa, Crumry, man, that was close. He did not let his partner come down with him, but I think they wanted to switch. I think that was kind of planned out. But boy, what a pass that was.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good, and it could have been fairly disastrous right there.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, they almost touched coming into the turn.
Well, we got the group of 6 at the lead, and then we got a group of 6 that have lined up, and they're trying to catch this group. And from then on back, it's just 2 cars, 2 cars, 2 cars until you get way back here. There's a group of 6, and that group's already 6-7 seconds off of this front. But if that second group can get lined up and stay hooked up, I think they'll be able to run these guys back down. We're going to have a 12-car race here.
Yeah, Barry Jacobs and crew here coming up behind him. Johnny Foley up into that mix as well. These guys all want to get up here to the front. And now we got somebody pulling out. Looks like Schweikert pulling out, but nobody going with him. I think he was hoping Johnny Foley would, but he ducks back down into the low line again and saves the position that he had. I think he was hoping Johnny Foley would go up there with him.
He picked a weird time to do that, too. They were really close to the entry to turn 3, and it might have surprised Foley.
But they are catching this front pack, and we're going to wind up with going to have about 12 cars back up in that front pack. Well, let's go back a little bit further, Roger. Back here, Robert Dykstra. Now, let's see, he's working with the number 6. Yeah,
Joe Roberts?
Joe Roberts in the number 6, yeah. And Joe, he is 3 laps down.
I think Roberts was one of the cars that was on that incident on pit road that brought out our first caution, and he had a bunch of left side damage. I think they tried to fix it. I'm looking behind them, and Brandner and Tommy Lee have hooked up, and now they're closing on this group, but they are so far behind these other guys that I don't know. I mean, we may have to have another caution for them to get caught back up.
Well, they're working up through the field here as they come up here on the number 3 of Robert Dykstra and do pass them. So they are starting to pick up a little bit of time on that front pack. Now, if these 4 could get together, but I think the 3 and the 6 are really too slow to keep up.
And back here towards the front, Cato and Schweikert have hooked up, and they went to the outside, and they have moved into about the 5th and 7th positions, and they are closing ground on these guys on the outside.
Definitely. Ross Cato really showing some muscle here now. It's coming down to it. Here we are, 34 laps to go, 35 laps technically. We're coming up on some lap traffic now.
No, that was Crumry and Stewart trying to make a swap, and it just didn't work out.
Schweiker diving it down to the inside line now. And boy, I'll tell you what, he is... Oh!
Big checkup right there. Yep. Gidman caught the apron, got loose. Yeah. Everybody did a good job of not crashing.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, Schweikert had to just probably jump on the brake right there. Not to run him over.
Johnny Foley now up there with Ross Cato.
All that work Schweikert did to get to 3rd, and now he's back there at about 7th.
Yeah, he did lose a little bit. Ross Cato and Johnny Foley up on the high side. Those two, no strangers to getting up here and leading at Daytona. They're definitely hooked up. Oh, Johnny Foley gets a little bit loose. I think he got that hook off the bumper. Schweiker almost getting into the back of Galen Gidman's car. So these guys really getting racy now.
Sedlick going to pit road. He hadn't pitted in a long time, so this is probably scheduled stop for him. But he's all by himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to make it to the end, I don't believe.
No, he's going to be about 10 laps short, even if he, from right now, and everybody else pitted. His strategy is befuddling me just a little bit right now.
Donald Stewart out front. Good job by him, being pushed by Paul Crumry. These guys are really showing the way here, showing some late muscle.
Yeah, they're showing. Yeah, late race strength for sure.
Yeah.
This group of 11 now, I'm trying to figure out. Well, Rattler's 2 laps down. It really is kind of the odd man out in this deal. But he's getting up here and he's trying to find somebody he can push on and help him get to the front. Maybe he can get a lap back and catch a caution and be the wave around car too.
Yeah, David Rattler, and I'm really kind of surprised that he is a couple of laps down, because that's kind of really uncharacteristic of David Rattler. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but boy, I'll tell you what, really uncharacteristic of him being back that far in the field.
Yeah, he had to have run out of fuel, and I think if we get another chance to do an in-race interview, I'm going to ask to find out and confirm that, but I got to think he ran out of fuel there before that first caution came out.
Yeah, I think he did, because, I mean, he was coming around there. It'll still make an engine noise if he's got it in gear, like it's running, but it's really not. So I would venture to say he did run out of fuel.
So Stewart and Crumry, and then Schweikert and Gidman have worked themselves into 3rd and 4th, and I don't think Schweikert is content to sit there right now. I think he wants to go. I think he wants to go out and get a lap led or get a couple laps led, get them bonus points to start the season, and no one's going to work with him.
Yeah,
no one's trying to get up there.
Yeah, Gidman dives it down to the bottom and dumps him off, so nobody up there. Now Johnny Foley and Ross K. Oh, and he does come down in front of him, so all right, good deal. Galen let him back in line, so good job. I'm looking at Johnny Foley here and Ross Cato up on that high side, working it really hard. I want to go back to Ross Cato here and ride along with him on the roof cam and watch this. Is this starting to unfold here? And it's coming down to it, but we are going to have to see him stop one more time. Is it going to be a short stop, or is it going to be they're going to ride it out till they can't go no further? I hope for some of these guys here, they don't try to stay out there too long and wind up to be like David Rattler and run out of gas.
Spissick just blew the motor going on the back stretch.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's done. He had some damage before, and I know that he hit on the nose of that car, so it probably wasn't getting there, and it just come apart on him.
Yeah. That's too bad. Well, now that these leaders are coming up on a lap car, I'm not sure who that is up ahead of them.
I'm sorry, I was checking on them guys. That looks like Nathan Sedlick, who just come out of the pits. I was watching Tommy Lee and Thomas Brander, and much to my amazement, they are making up time, the two of them, on this pack in front.
Paul Crumry just got, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, whether he got a hook or what, but I want to go back and take a look at that, because that looked pretty...
Takers on pit road.
That looked pretty dangerous for Paul Crumry.
Trying to figure out who just ducked off on the pit road right there. I thought it was David Rattler, and it's not.
Go back one more time here, because Paul Crumry was leading on the lap before that. Well, let's watch this as because he gets passed and then he kind of gets shuffled back a little bit, and then I'm not sure if he gets hooked or what happened here, but he almost loses it on the backstretch, and luckily he can back up on Galen Gidman was right there when he came back up on, and they gave each other plenty of room.
Barry Jacobs and Patrick Crabtree went on to pit road pretty much together, and Jacobs is a lap down, and Crabtree is in danger of going a lap down now.
It was Donald Stewart tapped the side of Paul Crumry coming off of turn 2 and coming to the backstretch, and that put Paul Crumry well down below the yellow line, but he brings it back up right behind Galen Gidman. Wow, that was a great save. Paul Crumry saving that. I'll give it out.
Some good action out here at the front. I believe Gidman is going to be in the lead. Rattler's trying to get a lap back the old-fashioned way.
Yes, sir. Galen Gidman now out front.
Is that Johnny Foley?
3 wide. Yeah, 3 wide going into the turn here. Wow, that was nuts right there. That was really that was intense right there, I'm telling you.
And in the next 7 laps, anybody could start pitting and actually make it the rest of the way without stopping again. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some guys split off here at about lap 81 or 82.
Yeah, they're coming up on the lap car, and they're 3 wide. Somebody's going to have to back out. It looks like Johnny Foley's going to duck it down in on the low line and keep it right in behind. That would have been the 09 of David Rattler out front mixing it up with these guys, and he's a couple laps down.
Yeah, he's hoping to get out there and be in front of him and a caution come out, and he gets one back, and then he can pick the other one up with a wave around or with the lucky dog.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Roger, if we see this go green the rest of the way. Even though we're going to have to see them all come down pit road one more time, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
I'm going to agree with you. Unless we see something like we saw on pit road that brings out a caution, I think this thing's going green the rest of the way. So this last set of green flag pit stops is going to make or break, guys, quickly.
All right, well, looking back here, I want to look at the race analysis. We've had 29 lead changes, 2 cautions.
Well, that's averaging 1 about every 3 laps. So that's excellent racing.
Yeah, this is these lead changes. I kind of gauge a good race by as many lead changes you get. And you know, super speedway racing you can have a lot of lead changes. Or you can have maybe a race that you might only see 3 or 4 lead changes. But this one here, these guys being so racy right from the green flag, that's why we've had so many lead changes.
Yeah, I like that we're getting great long green runs and not having a lot of cautions, because that can really bog one of these super speedway races down. But we're seeing some really excellent racing right now. Gidman out front, Schweigert, Foley, Stewart. I mean, this is a great race at the front of this pack. We still got 12 cars in this pack.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm glad to see that these guys are racing so good up in the front here and being so respectful. Nathan Sedlick is a lap down. He is the first car that is 1 lap down. But they're coming up on Patrick Crabtree.
We got cars pitting. Stewart, Crumry, Livy, all pitting right now.
All right, right on them. These guys get ready to come down pit road.
I don't know who that is at the back.
Let's see what their strategies are. Whether they're going to take any tires, because we haven't seen. I don't think I've seen hardly anybody taking any tires today.
Maybe on yellow.
Yeah, these guys only want to take fuel. They're away already. So Stewart away. Oh man, these guys all coming off that road now. Good job by these guys. Everybody coming off pit road trying to get them things wound back up to speed. But,
here comes some more. Johnny Reed, Foley, Galen Gidman, Ross Cato.
All these guys coming down pit road. So these all they're going to be their last pit stops of the day. Coming to 20 to go here. This is
John Schweikert.
This is going to relinquish the lead over to Brian Wolderson.
I see Joe Roberts just leaving pit road as this group in.
Johnny Foley on his pit road. Galen Gidman there. Fuel only. Galen's away. Johnny's away. Everybody's away on the pit stops. Let's get back up to our leader here. And let's see, Brian Wolverson. Oh, and they're
all
coming down
pitting.
pit road. This will be their last pit stop of the day as well.
Tommy Lee and Thomas Brander's in that group too, with the lap car of David Rattler.
And looks like they're all coming down, stopping in their pit stalls. Everybody probably taking fuel only. Some of them.
Now I'm going to try to go back up here and catch the guys that just come off of pit road and see where they're at. Call that out when those guys leave pit road.
They're just now leaving right now.
And those guys are just getting ready to go by the entrance of pit road. So this is going to put some cars back together right here. Because right now, Johnny Reed, Foley, John Schweigert, and Galen Gidman are all nose to tail. They got away from Ross Cato a little bit. And they're going through 1 and 2 right now. And I see that other group right ahead of them right there.
Brian Wilson still showed as the leader right now, but those guys coming up on the back of him like a freight train. And he stays high and lets them go low because he doesn't have the speed build up yet. So
yeah, there was 40 miles an hour difference right there.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in front of that.
Johnny Foley going to be showed as our new leader when they cross the line. With Schweikert in tow right behind him. And Galen Gidman right there in third. And Galen looking to the outside like he wants to try past him. And look at him going by on the high side by himself.
And I think Schweikert went ahead and let him get back around because he didn't want him to stay on the outside and bog them down. He wanted to get that back in line so they could get away from that group behind them.
And they're coming up on, looks like David Rattler. They're going to put him another lap down.
Yeah, they're going to put him back to 2 laps down.
Yeah. I was really unfortunate for Rattler today. I was kind of really thinking that he was going to really come out here, and I don't know if he just misjudged on his fuel today or what, and I'm sure he's probably beating himself up over that. But, well, that's racing. 18 laps to go here to finish this thing up. Johnny Foley leading the way. Galen Gidman in second. John Schweikert there in third in the number 1. And
Tommy Lee and Thomas Branner coming right there 4th and 5th now. And they've done something I didn't think could be done. They closed over 6 seconds with just 2 cars on a group of 12.
Tom, that car really hot right now, I can tell you. He's got them pushed up to where they can get to the draft of them. And I'm going to tell you, don't count them 2 out by any means because they are both strong super speedway racers. They have caught them guys, and here they are running right up here with them. It looks like Schweikert takes over the lead now. John Schweikert up in the lead.
Yeah, Rattler pushed him around, and then he let Rattler get out front because I think he's wanting to stay in behind. He's got just a touch of nose damage, and he's wanting to stay in behind and have that pull and not try to lead because it's really bogging him down. So he's wanting to stay in behind somebody. So he let Rattler push him up there, and then he let him go right on by on the low side and fell right in behind him in front of this group of cars.
Well, let's go back there. Johnny Foley in second. Galen Gidman third. Tommy Lee in fourth. Thomas Brandner fifth. Brian Wolverson sixth. And Ross Cato seventh. Ross up on that high side. Not sure he's not going to really be able to do anything up there by himself, but it looks like he's going to duck it back down in. Brian Wolverson, right behind Brian Wolverson. So good job by these guys up here. A lot of kind of like playing it through right now. Not sure what we're going to see when it comes down to the end of this.
No, but we're going to see a fury of activity right in the last 3 or 4 laps here. I promise you that. These guys that are back here running 6th, 7th, they're going to want to get up there and get in a position where they're in the top 5 so that final push gets them a shot at the win. I'm going to be interested to see what Schweikert's going to do, and I really want to know what Johnny Foley's going to do. I imagine him and Gidman already have a plan worked out.
I'm sure they probably do. We've seen Johnny Foley do some things in the duels there that were like virtually impossible, but he did them. And look at this, he gets a run to go by on the outside of Schweikert, and then he was all by himself. How did he do that?
Well, Gidman did the same thing, and he was further back.
Yeah, and now Johnny up here pushing right on the back bumper of David Rattler.
I think Schweikert is having to save a little fuel.
Oh, that could be.
He was one of the guys that pitted on about lap 79 or 80,
Yeah.
and he might be really tight on that fuel right now, needing to save for a couple, 3 or 4 laps, and he's having to move back.
Yeah, riding in behind like that's probably the best thing to save a lot of fuel. And yeah, I think you're right. That might be what he's doing. He doesn't want to be out there leading. That uses more fuel.
Well, what he needs is to be behind and have someone behind him so that it's way less drag and he can run it about half throttle. And he doesn't have that. Every time he tries to move back and get in a hole, the guys behind him move to the high side and go around him. And now Wilderson is pulled in there, so that might help.
Johnny Foley up on the high side, Ross Cato up there, and Tommy Lee getting his nose in there with Thomas Brandner. So we've got a big battle going on up here for the lead. And here they are, 13 laps to go, coming to 12 to go next time by. This is getting interesting.
Well, we've split it up now. We got an inside line and an outside line, and Donald Stewart is getting a push from Livy, who's a lap down, and he is caught back up to this group. So he's going to put himself in the mix, and they're looking like they want to go on the outside and stay there.
Tommy Lee may be trying to push Ross Cato. I'm not sure, because I know him and Thomas Brandner worked together, and they got back up to the front here, so I'm sure those two are going to try to stay together. Ross Cato kind of like a pickle in the middle here, not sure. I don't think Tommy's sure what he's going to do with Ross Cato, whether he's going to try to push him up past the leaders or what's going on, but we're going to have to wait and see. 12 laps to go right now.
My guess would be that he wants to push him around those guys and then have him drop in front so him and Brandner can stay hooked up and finish that run. They're 3 wide going into 3 right here.
David Rattler in the middle, and I think he's kind of decided maybe he just needs to let these guys go and battle it out. And I don't know. Tommy Lee ducks down into the inside, and maybe he's going to hook up with David Rattler. They just kind of dumped off Ross Cato.
That's what they were trying to do, was get rid of the 12 car so that the 24 and 92 could get back together and work the way they were working a few laps ago. Wow.
Thomas Brandon come up into Ross Cato there. Oh, Ross hit the wall and lost a lot of momentum on that. Next time by, going to be 10 laps to go here, folks. Getting down to the end of this thing really quick. A lot of battles going on up in the front here as Johnny Foley leads them around. Galen Gidman right on his bumper. But up on the high side, Tommy Lee and Thomas Brandner trying to get a run. Boy, I'll tell you what, there's some tough customers, all of them guys right there that are running in this top 5 or 6.
Yeah, this is, if they can keep it close like this, they've been able to stay off of one another. This has been really good racing. The end of this race is going to be really close and really exciting, as now Lee and Brandner have worked their way out in front of everybody. And
looks like Tommy Lee takes the lead now. Tommy Lee and Thomas Brandner working together, did slide it down across the nose of Johnny Foley there.
These lap cars are going to become a factor in this before we get to the end as we come down to 10 to go here.
Well, I just hope that they do kind of respect these leaders out here and give them plenty of room to get by them safely. Now we're 9 laps to go to the end of this. Tommy Lee and Thomas Brandner out front. Now it looks like we got Johnny Foley up on the high side with David Rattler. Now Johnny Foley.
Big Brandner and Rattler.
Oh no. And that's going to bring out the caution. So let's take a look here. Thomas Brandner getting a lot of damage on that.
Yeah, he got turned into the wall there, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I was watching the back of that, and I don't know if maybe Rattler moved down. And it looks like Rattler moved down.
We're going to watch this as this all unfolds here, coming around. It looks looks like Rattler might have. Well, we're a little ways off of this yet. Those two coming around out of turn 2, knowing that they're going to be coming up on some lap traffic here. Oh, Rattler come right into Brandner. Oh, no.
Well, you know, it looks to me like when Brandner come disconnected from the 92, he inched up a little, and Rattler was trying to pull the side draft.
Yeah.
And they just kind of came together.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anything but you know, the cars kind of got pulled together there more than anything.
Yep. All right, so Tommy Lee out front here. Wow, you want to see if we can get a word in with somebody down there, or do you want to just wait now to the end of the race?
No, we can try to get one in right here because it'd be really good to know somebody's strategy coming down to the very end of this. I want to talk to somebody close to the front here. Tommy Lee's got the lead.
Let me know when to open the mic.
Let's see if anybody pits, and once they go past pit road here, then we'll look at trying to grab an interview with these guys. I doubt anybody pits, but man, I wouldn't want to interfere at all with them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to pit it. No chance.
Well, they are going to have to go back to green. This is good for guys like Schweiker that was not going to be able to make it maybe on fuel.
All right, Rudy, if you want to open up my mic, I think I'm going to grab somebody here towards the front.
Okay. Mic's open.
Johnny Reed Foley. Roger Wagner up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Roger, I got you. What's going on, man?
I was about to ask you the same thing, man. What's going on? You got a plan for the last few laps of this race? I know we're going to have about a 3 or 4 lap shootout here. Looked like you were set up in pretty good position if this thing stayed green even, but does this caution coming out change anything for you?
Now, Roger, you know that ain't going to change nothing. In the end, the objective is the same, and the plan is the same either way, too, you know. And the best plan, I think, at Daytona is not to have one.
And a lot of times I'm going to agree with you 100% about that, but, you know, I got to ask the question just to see what kind of response I can get out of you. And you've been strong all night. We've watched you run towards the front, a little bit in the middle. You kind of got mired back in the pack, and here you are back at the front again. I know your car is strong. I'm pretty sure you got a partner I'm looking at right there. You guys going to be able to bring this home 1-2, or are you just going to try to get satisfied with a solid finish and bring it home on 4 tires?
Let me put it this way. You better keep the camera on me because you're going to see some crazy stuff here over the next couple laps.
Well, all right, man. We were going to keep the camera to the front. Man, you guys have put on a heck of a show all night tonight, so we're looking forward to seeing who gets to take this thing home with the championship. Hopefully it'll be you, and we'll get to talk to you in victory lane, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you, Roger.
Well, he said it. It's going to get crazy. I have no doubts about that with these last 3 or 4 laps, man.
You know, Roger, I was just looking here. This is the 3rd caution, and we've had 35 lead changes. This is nuts. That's just awesome racing. I'm telling you what, these guys have put on a great show here tonight. And if Johnny holds true to his words, I think we're expected to see a great finish here. You never know what he's going to do because we've seen some pretty funky things come out of them duels that he pulled off, and I mean, just some great racing. I don't know how he did it. I don't even want to know how he did it. It looked so dangerous. It was like, man, I was gritting my teeth the whole time he did it. So we're going to have to wait and see how this is going to unfold here for these guys.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty wild. I mean, you got all these cars up here. still have a chance, and it's only going to take one mistake. And Tommy Lee, I don't know how he feels about it, but I know when I'm in that position, I don't want to be the guy in the front. I want to be the second car when we come off turn 3 and turn 4 on that last lap. I want to be the second car. We'll see if he gets to hang out there in the front, but I think Johnny Reed, Foley, and Gidman probably going to hook up and try to get around him pretty fast. He lost his partner in Brandner, so Tommy's kind of out there by himself.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate for him. Now, Galen's going to be restarting right behind him, so I'm not sure if... I'm sure Galen's going to want to get right there with Johnny Foley, so he may back off just enough to let Johnny Foley in there, and those two get a run and try to go on the outside of Tommy Lee. That would probably be my guess.
Yeah, I think they'll try to give a little gap. Maybe Johnny get down in front of Galen, and then try to push like gangbusters, like you're talking about there. But John Schweikert is a player in this thing, and he could get up there on Foley's bumper and shove him right on by, and that may change the whole complexion these last couple laps.
Right, Galen and Gidman might be forced to go with Tommy Lee and try to maybe get him, set up for the last lap. Maybe pass Tommy Lee coming out of turn 4 maybe and take the win. I'm with you on that, Roger. I don't want to be Tommy Lee's shoes right now. He's a sitting duck out there.
Yeah, for Gidman, probably Wilderson, Stewart. Right now, it's any port in a storm. Cato's going to be the same way there. Whoever you can grab to push these last couple laps, you got to hope that guy wants to stay with you because you're pushing on him, or the guy behind you is wanting to stay with you, pushing you, and you hope you both can try to go to the front, and he doesn't dump you off as soon as he clears, the car on the outside that maybe was his partner before. He feels like you guys got a shot. Otherwise, man, you could be go from hero to zero just really, really fast here.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Tommy Lee. He just knows he's a sitting duck out there. He knows these guys are partners. They've been partners, quite a bit through the race here toward the end. And he's just sitting duck out there without his partner, Thomas Brandner. Thomas Brandner's way back in 13th
12th.
place.
Yeah, 13th place. Yeah, you're right. And he's not going to be able to get them. So he's going to have to do the any port in a storm thing. And if Gidman doesn't hang with him, he's going to have to hope that it's Wilderson or even Schweikert that he can hook up with quickly right there. Or he might just be, out of luck on this deal. I don't know. Lee, Foley, Gidman, Schweikert, Wilderson, Stewart, top 6 going to restart right here with 4 to go, Rudy. This is anybody's race still, and this is going to get really exciting.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and call this one down, Roger. This will be the last one, or last restart for this race. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn down Pit Road. And it does. Tommy Lee brings him to the line. Galen Gidman right on his tail, and green flag flies for the last time here, 100 laps at Daytona. Tommy Lee.
What a restart.
Yeah, everybody going right after it here. Galen Gidman tight on the bumper of Thomas Lee. But up on that high side, Schweikert and Foley working together. But boy, I don't know if they're going to be able to make that or not.
I don't know, with Wilderman coming as hard as he is going to be in, big wreck, and caution's out. This race is going to be over right here.
It's over
and
right
Lee's
there.
going to hang on to this win. Wow, I don't know what happened there.
Let's go back and take a look at that one more time. We've got a bunch of cars into it. Patrick Crabtree.
Crabtree turned Crumry, it looks like, right there into.
So let's go back here and take a look at from Patrick Crabtree. This was right after the restart here, too.
Yeah, it just looks like he hooked into him right there. And Ken Worley, wow, what a ride he took.
Oh, right there's where it happened, yeah. Well, it looked like Crumry might have been all over the place up there, and I'm not sure what was going on with that, but he kind of went high, come back down the hill, and Crabtree was right there. Man, it's unfortunate for a lot of these guys because they're not going to finish even in the top 10. They're just not going to finish well at all now. So Crabtree trying to make it around here, but boy, he's probably going to blow his engine before he gets back around.
Yeah, just about everybody behind that got into that. I saw Drake had a piece of that. Jet had another piece of a wreck. And just about anybody behind that deal. Wow.
So Tommy Lee coming out of this with the win? Ooh. And we would have never expected that, Roger, because of what happened there. We just figured that Galen and Johnny Foley were going to get hooked up together and go by him, but Galen couldn't get up there with Johnny, and Johnny couldn't get down there with Galen. So it is what it is, and this is probably the way it's going to finish. They're not going to get back to green.
No, this race is over, and exactly what happened had to happen for him to hold on to this win, because I can tell you that Gidman and Foley were working to try to get Cleary and just kind of leave him out and get back together the last couple of laps.
So Tommy Lee going to win the big race here tonight at IWCR. Got to give a big congratulations to him. Well earned. Coming from so far back in the field, gathering back up here, worked with Thomas Brandner for most of the race to get back up to the field. Thomas Brandner getting taken out on that big wreck, and Tommy's sticking it out here in the front with no partner, and here he is leading the race when the caution comes out and brings home the win. Congratulations to Tommy. Great racing out here by him.
Yeah, like I said, they did what they had to do to get to the front. They made a great run, surprised me, and closed up on those guys. And once we got through the pit stops, they were in a position. It's unfortunate Brander got into that wreck there, and it put him back to 12. But Tommy Lee, everything that had to happen to keep him in the front to get this win happened. Couldn't have played out better for him.
Absolutely. A great job by him. I'm telling you what, if luck was ever on anybody's side, it was definitely with him tonight. Well, Roger, I don't know. You want to wait till they cross the finish line to interview them? Probably be the best, huh?
Yeah, let's wait till it's all over and everybody gets done congratulating them, and then we'll grab them top three and tell them to hang around, and we'll get a good interview.
Yeah, tell them to line up on the top three to line up on the start-finish line, and I'll try to get a good view for them for the broadcast here, and then that way they'll have it on the broadcast, of the top three. All right. Well, the white flag is in the air. One more lap around here. Tommy Lee gonna bring it home tonight. Wow, what a finish, huh? Didn't finish like we thought it would, but a great finish anyhow. But we've seen some great racing out here tonight, Roger. Tommy Lee coming from 24th in the field to win this tonight. I don't know who got the most positions gained tonight, but that had to have been pretty close to it right there.
Sorry I couldn't answer there, buddy.
Yeah,
I was talking to the race control to get them to get these top three guys to park for us so we could get the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I missed what you said, and if you want to repeat it, that's fine, and if you don't, that's fine. We'll continue on. But what a race. I mean, we saw great racing all night long. This was fabulous.
Yes,
it's sad. I really didn't want to see it end under yellow. It's kind of sad that it's going to end under yellow because it was such a good race. It deserved to finish under green and see how that was going to play out those last couple laps. But, I mean, it's super speedway racing, and one little mistake causes the big one, and we saw that mistake,
Yeah, sure did. 4 cautions, 37 lead changes. That's amazing. All right, well, when they come out of the turn here and get ready to cross the line, we're going to we'll try to get a word in with Tommy whenever everybody gets done congratulating him. I want to give him a big congratulations, because to come from 24th up here to win this tonight, that's some amazing driving. Amazing.
Yeah, these guys are going to go ahead and take his checks, and then they're going to go around the lap and park for that screenshot. Yeah, that was a great drive up there. And, they hung around the back for the longest time, and I know that was their strategy. And, wow, it worked out. One of them come home with the win. I know they'd have rather come home 1-2, battling for it at the end. Unfortunate for Brandner, and, man, what a deal.
For sure. Yeah, I feel bad for Thomas Brandner because, like I say, him and Tommy Lee working together so well and getting up through the field like they did for him to get taken out like that. That's it's very sad. I feel bad for Thomas because he's a good driver. All these guys are good drivers out here, but for him and Tommy Lee to work so good together and get up there, and then him getting taken out, that's got to be a definite heartfelt thing right there. I'm telling you.
Well, it's definitely going to put a little downer on it. What a great race he ran, not to get the finish that he really kind of earned,
Yeah. All right, these guys all going to get lined up here.
Maybe. Had Johnny overshot it a little, I think.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, he's going to turn her back around and come back, and they're going to line up and stagger for you, so it's a pretty screenshot here.
Yeah, we're trying to get this where, got to make it kind of dress it up for him a little bit here,
There we go. That'll be a good race. Or a good screenshot, I mean.
Okay, I got it. All right, let me know when they are open down there, and I
go right ahead.
Go ahead, okay. Hold on here a minute. Tommy Lee, this is Rudy Cummings up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, Rudy, I do.
Holy smokes, Tommy. I can't believe it. You came from 24th up through the field. You and Thomas Brandner worked together pretty much all night. You were way back in the run and marched up to the front. You were kind of hanging left to dry here on the end with no partner. It was very unfortunate what happened to Thomas Brandner. You kept it out in front of these guys and brought it home to the win tonight. Congratulations. Tell us about your race tonight, buddy.
Well, first thing I want to give a shout-out to these guys at IWCR. I've not been in a race that I can ever remember to run 100 laps and have as few cautions as we did. Just a big shout-out to everybody, all the drivers and everything with that. Had a little misfortune at the end of my dual race and had to start back in the pack. And I'd worked with my teammate Travis Townsend in the practice station before the race trying to get a fuel run, and we figured it out then and stuck to the fuel run just like we needed to, and just come up through the field. I know we got hung behind a couple guys that had some damage in the on that one restart, and without him, I'd have never been able to get back up through there. I think we closed like 4 or 5 seconds on the lead pack whenever we caught him, and I hate that the accident took him out right there because I think we'd have been in a real good spot. I just knew on that restart right there, if Galen was able to lay back just enough for Johnny to get down, I knew I was done. I wouldn't have a chance. So I seen him starting to lay back, so I started pedaling a little bit just to kind of keep that hole closed up.
Well, that was some pretty fancy driving by everybody up there, and that's what we were kind of wondering up here in the booth, if Galen and Johnny got together and they could just motor by you. You would be kind of like stuck out there, and we were kind of wondering about that because you had to be thinking about it totally, knowing that being out in the lead, I would not have wanted to be in your shoes at all, Tommy, just knowing how that could have ended. But great racing out there, Tommy. Man, big congratulations to you. Well-deserved, coming from 24th up to 1st. That was just absolutely amazing. Good racing by everyone out there tonight. But big congratulations to you. And Tommy, you want to give a wave out to any of your fans or friends who might be watching?
Yeah, like I said, of course, very big shout-out to Thomas Brandner for working with me there, getting me back up through there. Travis Townsend was in the booth up there after he got involved in an accident and had to drop out. He was helping us as far as spot and kind of telling us who was coming and everything. Redline Motorsports, You guys at Max Speed TV, you and Roger for doing the broadcast. Of course, like I said, I've got it running every time. It sounded great. And like I said, another big shout out to the guys here, all the drivers at IWCR and the admins. I mean, like I say, 100 laps. We had 5 or 6 cautions. I mean, you can't beat it. Just shows the very extremely large caliber of drivers that they've got in here, and I'll be glad to run with them anytime.
All right, Tommy. Well, again, congratulations and thank you for the shout out and the explanation of how your race went tonight. And thank you very much, Roger.
Galen Goodman, Roger Wagner. You get a copy?
10-4, Roger. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. You did a pretty good job tonight. You kept that car towards the front the entire race. You come home second. I'm sure you would have liked to have gotten hooked up with Johnny there at the end and see if you two could sneak past Thomas. But, man, a fabulous run. Kind of walk us through your evening, if you don't mind.
It was a good night. I mean, overall, not overly eventful. I think the worst I ever ran was 11th or 12th for a few laps right after a pit stop. But I was able to roll off third because of my second place finish in our shootout, or our dual race anyway. And it was a good night. I enjoyed it. Was really impressed by the driving I saw all night long. I can't say enough about the drivers we had out here. Really, really impressed with the great driving I saw all night long. Would have loved for that thing to go to the end. I mean, odds are I'd have gotten wrecked and finished, 15th, but it would have been pretty cool to have a shot at the win. Second's not bad though. We'll take it. I feel like I finished second. Everything there was to finish second in this week. I finished second my duel. I finished second in qualifying in a practice race. I finished second in the real race. But hey, I mean, if you can't win, I guess second's not too bad.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really good driving, and I was kind of surprised to see that, it went too wide as early as it did, and everybody did such a good job. Long green runs just kind of speaks to the caliber of drivers that are over here. You and Johnny look like you guys weren't going to leave each other unless you were forced to. Was that really kind of you guys' plan? And then right there at the end, I know you guys were trying to hook back up. It just didn't work out. Kind of tell us what you guys were thinking right there in the last few laps on that restart.
Honestly, I'm sure it didn't look like this from TV, but not once have Johnny and I ever set out to work with each other. We're not on the same team. I mean, we're just good friends, and throughout the duels and this race, we found each other quite a bit and ended up working together. But honestly, even going down to that restart, we had not talked at all about what we were planning on doing. My goal really was to try to push Thomas Lee and myself clear of Foley, and then jump up in front of Johnny, because I figured right about that time he'd be getting a run, try to steal his run and get by Thomas. So Johnny and I really did not have a plan to work together, and I honestly think he and Schweikert were probably the guys that had planned to work together. But, had we been in the same lane, definitely we would have tried to get to the front, and, it been cool to see what could have happened.
Well, yeah, from up here, it looked like you guys had intent and purpose the entire race, because you got together, you stayed hooked up, and you guys ran at the front the whole time. So, great race. Congratulations on your second place finish. Is there anybody else you need to give a shout out to or say thank you to this evening?
Absolutely. I just want to thank my teammates, Nathan Sedlak. I think fuel strategy bit him a little bit, but he was looking good all night long. Again, I want to thank all other fellow admins here at the IWCR, helped put this race on. Thank all the drivers. We saw great drivers. Thank you guys in the booth, and I hope everyone is excited about Rockingham as I am. I think that's going to be a fantastic race.
Well, all right, congratulations again, and I believe that Rudy has Johnny Reed Foley, our third place finisher tonight.
Johnny Foley, this is Rudy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Rudy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What was the deal there at the end? Was you going to try to see if you could work with Galen, or what was the? I know you said you didn't have a plan, but you had to start. You had to be starting to think about a plan coming to them last couple laps. But great racing! Congratulations on your third place finish, and tell us about them last few laps.
Well, man, it was a great race. And you talk about having a plan. Me and Schwarkart were going to get together. He pretty much, you didn't have much of a choice. We knew that race was going to have a caution. People get antsy. We were just hoping it would take a lap, not, we'd at least get around this track once. The deal was he was just going to push me, and if we both got clear, we were going to just stay connected. But he was going to just push on me as much as he could and try and make sure me or him came away with it. So that was the only part of the plan that we had. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, that was some of the greatest racing that I've witnessed in iRacing. To see the guys give and take like that out in the field, throughout the whole field. We've seen three wide racing many times, and a lot of give and take out there and a lot of respect by the drivers. And you guys definitely are the class of iRacing here. This has been absolutely amazing to sit up here in the booth and watch. Roger and I've just had a ball. We've had plenty to talk about. You guys have put on a great show here tonight, so we've had plenty to talk about. But you come out of this third place finish, Johnny, great finish. Congratulations to you. And do you want to give a shout out to anybody special?
Right now, I want to shout out to all my GFTL teammates. I have fell in love with racing again, joining up over here with Ross, Joe Roberts, and Scott Drake. And right now, sending some serious thoughts and concerns out for Zach Chalice. I know he's frustrated, but I'm hoping that things work out good for him. And I want to see that boy do better. He's a lot better of a driver than he's been, but just all my GFTL and Galen. I want to send a little shout out to him and John both. But Galen has really helped me this few weeks. We've raced a lot together, unintentionally, mind you. But it's just been funny how it's worked out. And him and John, I've learned a lot from and a lot about. And I'm just really thankful and cannot wait to go to Rockingham and start the battle for this championship.
All right, Johnny. Well, great racing out there tonight. And again, congratulations, buddy. Good job.
Thank you, Rudy.
All right, Roger, let's go do a rundown here of the results. First, I kind of wanted to go over a couple things first. 5 cautions for 37 lead changes, which is absolutely amazing on a super speedway track like this. And I kind of wanted to go over all the people that have led laps on tonight's race. I'm going to
good luck with that.
Yeah. Travis Townsend leading 1 lap. Zachary Miller leading 2 laps. Looks like Kenny Harris led 4. Patrick Crabtree led 23. Paul Crumry led 5. Nathan Sedlick led 7. Donald Stewart led 6. John Schweikert led 5. Brian Wolderson led 12. Johnny Foley led 12. Galen Gidman led 11. And our winner, Thomas Lee, led 10. And the most important one, he led the very last one. So that was all of the leaders that we had out here. Great race by everybody. Let's run over the results real quick here, and we'll get close out this broadcast. Thomas Lee in the first spot in the number 92. In second, Galen Gidman. Johnny Foley third. Brian Wilderson coming home fourth. John Schweikert fifth. Ross Cato, good finish for Ross in sixth. Donald Stewart seventh. Robert Dykstra in eighth. Nathan Sedlick finishing ninth. Thomas Brandner, after that late race crash there, still coming home 10th place. Good job by him. Roger?
Ken Worley coming home 11th. Paul Crumry is going to bring it home 12th tonight. An unfortunate incident at the end of that race between Crumry and Crabtree is going to put Crabtree 13th. Michael Leiby 14th. Kenny Harris is going to finish in the 15th spot. Barry Jacobs Jr. is 16th tonight. DeAndre Artis, 17th. Bill Jett, 18th. Joe Roberts, 19th. And Randall Drake's going to round out the top 20, Rudy.
All right, 21st, David Rattler. Kind of a disappointing finish for David, I believe. Finishing 10 laps down in 21st. John Verga in 22nd. Jeremy Bazemore in 23rd. Matt Kocher in 24th. John Spisak in 25th. Alan Bose finishing 26th. Kind of a disappointing for Alan. Disappointing finish there, 40 laps down. Keith Schoner in 27th. Zachary Chahalis in 28th. Travis Townsend. Terrible finish for Travis tonight. Unfortunate deal going on with him. In 29th. Scott Hunsinger, 30th. Roger?
Yeah, Zach Miller's going to finish 31st tonight. Aaron Barge, 32nd. Brandon Fromfeld, one of the early exiters tonight, 33rd. And rounding out the field would be Dalton Carter tonight.
All right. So, all right, well, any last-minute thoughts on this race, Roger, before we close this out?
Yeah, a couple of things. And before we get into kind of recapping the race here, I want to tell the guys, the admin team over at IWCR, how honored I have been for the last, it's been about 5 or 6 weeks now since this whole process started of getting all the paint jobs together for these guys, just being asked. It took me a couple of days to make up my mind I wanted to do it, and I'm really glad that I did because these guys put on a heck of a show, and it was great to see everybody in a themed deal. But I'm honored that they asked, and then to turn around and title the race after me it's extremely touching, and I owe these guys a great big thank you for all of that. After that, they put on one heck of a show like we knew they would. Great racing. You said 37 lead changes in 100 laps. That is extremely impressive. We only had 3 or 4 cautions. Great racing. I'm happy that it was as successful as it was. It went by quick. I thought it might be a little bit longer time wise, but it's been a great week since the duels, and to finish it up with the greater races we saw last night, and to see a guy come from the very back to win this thing, simply amazing. These guys are awesome. I'm looking forward to going to Rockingham, and I know how tough that track is. This is going to be excellent.
Yeah, Rockingham's going to be, oh man, that car's got to be a handful on that track. But Roger, I wanted to thank you for helping me in the booth. I owe you a lot, buddy. You've just been tremendous in the booth with me, and I wanted to thank you especially for that. It was really an honor to broadcast this race, knowing that your name was on it. That's just great, and to see all the paint jobs out on that track, absolutely beautiful paint jobs, all painted by you. That's amazing. So, but anyhow, thank you immensely for helping me. I can't thank you enough.
I appreciate that. It's always a pleasure to work with you. I have a blast doing these, especially this series. We get to see some of the best drivers running this series, and I love this Friday night series. This is one of my. I look forward to this all week. I really do. And working with you is absolutely a pleasure for me. I have a blast doing these with you, man.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. All right, folks. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight here. The Roger Wagner MLB 250 at Daytona. Thomas Lee coming home the winner. Congratulations to him. And we will see you tomorrow night. We're signing off here at Max Speed TV.